come here and they don't leave. And then they leave and then they come back. You could come here for 2 days and literally stay like a couple of years. Yeah, it's kind of amazing that way.
There's something about the energy in Tofino. Tofino is a uniquely wild and beautiful world. In Canada, you can't drive any further west, but the end of the road is just the start of another journey for the people who work and live here. That path will weave them through old-growth rainforests, the foam and spray of year-round surfing, and the traditions of the indigenous peoples. Relying heavily on tourism, Tofino's business ebbs and flows with the warm weather. It's beautiful, but remote, so the people and the businesses they run need to be self-reliant. So why would anyone choose to live and run a business here, in Tofino, and nowhere else?
I used to sit in the office at work and watch the webcam of people surfing in Tofino, and I just dream my afternoon away.
Jennifer Thorpe visited Tofino regularly while working in Vancouver's fashion industry. Marrying her passion and experience, she opened a storefront that showcases Tofino's beach life and aesthetic.
I had worked in an office for 10 years, so it was definitely a big leap of faith starting my own business. But Caravan Beach Shop is something that I've wanted since I was probably 9 years old. When people come into the store now and they say, "It's so small in here," I'm like, well, you should have been in here 5 years ago when it was even smaller. And I was able to expand an additional 10 feet back. So I feel like, to me, I'm in a huge space, but still feels like this amazing, cozy cabin. In Tofino, we don't have chain stores, so it's a pretty amazing place where you know that you can walk into any given business and meet the owners or the person that, you know, made that necklace that you're about to buy. So it's pretty cool.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, you guys. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
We were actually in here the other day looking at the pot.
That's a local ceramic artist, Daniela Petosa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, made here in town, which
Very
is
cool.
really cool.
Perfect.
There's a lot of great local artisans that I work with. I've got local jewelry and local potters, but I also sell larger brands, and I make sure those brands are in line with our vision of how we want to treat each other and treat the environment. In Tofino, we have this beautiful, wild, untouched place, and we really need to, figure out ways to keep it that way. When we choose products, it's going to be something that's going to last a long time and be high quality, and preferably be something handmade right here. I use the store as kind of my platform to have collaborations with artisans and make some items that are really special. Hi.
Nice to see you.
What are you working on?
Oh, little bits of everything. We've got some. I'm gonna put my bag down.
This was the collaboration we talked about. Oh, beautiful. I
Some
love
texture
it.
on it.
Jen wholesales my jewelry in her store year-round. She's one of my really good friends. Yeah, we go surfing together.
I feel like it would look nice if it was hanging with maybe a longer one, maybe in the bark texture.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's do that.
She has a very good idea of her customer base and what people want. She'll tell me people are really loving this necklace, but let's add some new texture to it that she thinks people would really like, and that fits well with what she's doing in her brand.
Maybe it's one day we add like a little ring and then attach it.
Yeah, it's a little
Attach
like
a
tag,
key ring.
kind of
Yeah,
like a
totally.
Handle. Sort
Yeah.
Of, yeah.
Jen will order like sunglasses cases or these keychains that we've been making today, things that are only sold in her store. It has to be like precise and perfect and clean. Like she'll tell you if she doesn't like it. But yeah, it's always an awesome collaboration.
This one's tiny, it's not gonna fit on my finger, but I can imagine how pretty it would be. If it fit on any of my fingers, it would be beautiful. The slipper doesn't fit, guys. When I'm not in the store, I'm working from home, which is a school bus. We have a really interesting growing tiny home community here, so what might feel alternative to somebody, to us, feels quite normal. This is a school bus from 1984. I decided to gut it and do my own conversion. I don't have hot water. That's what the kettle's for. it works out pretty well. Eventually, this will have a stovepipe that goes through the roof, and this will keep me plenty warm in the wintertime. I absolutely love sleeping in the middle of the rainforest. The sound of the rain on the roof is amazing. I've got my couch area where I like to chill, and during the day when I'm working, this is my desk over here. Let's go. I don't have a washroom on the bus. 10 steps away is my shower, but it's shocking how quickly you get used to that. In Tofino, you feel like you could make a life from owning less. I am so happy that I'm here, and I could see it not ending up any other way.
In Tofino, surfing is big business. Every year, 40,000 surfers enjoy the rolling breaks and mild weather. Stefan Aftanas is crafting surfboards by hand that are tailor-made for these idyllic waters.
A few people out there, definitely not the 15 that they used to be. The Tofino surf scene is growing, and when I moved to Tofino, there weren't a lot of kids. And surfing wasn't, in quotations, a thing. 15 people in the water was a big deal before. 15 people, I mean, holy. You gotta get up at 6 in the morning to see 15 people in the water now. Aftanas Surfboards is a surfboard manufacturing company. My main job is lead designer and shaper. I built boards for kind of everybody, like everybody from a beginner to people that surf for a living and everything in between. Start off with what's called a blank, and you carve that into a surfboard. You glass it, you sand it, and wash it down, and you're done. And that's quite a nutshell. I lived in Australia for almost 2 years, and every day I did about a 2-hour commute. And I thought, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. And so I set out to have my work and where I live relatively close. And in this case, it's extremely close. It's very, very much a live-work situation. It allows you to be creative whenever you want. You know, you can decide you're going to head down and do a few things, and sometimes that's when you do your best work. I make boards for people traveling anywhere in the world, but the specialty right now would be building boards for in and around the West Coast, as far down as Oregon, and as far up, say, as Haida Gwaii. The boards are built for the waves here with a lot of R&D behind it.
Our waves are kind of soft typically, and so, yeah, it's not easy to find a board that goes really well out here. Stefan's been working on the ideal Tofino board for a long time, and that's why his boards work out here really well. A lot of people are riding his boards.
The way I design is through feedback. The team that I've sort of built up over the years is incredibly good.
He'll build you a board and then you just go and ride it. And if there's anything that you want differently, he's super happy to just like try again. So when you have that person just right down the road, you can get some nice boards made.
The things they can feel and the information that they give you allows you to kind of like design each component, each part of the board, each sort of area of the board differently. And through that, it makes all the boards better. What they tell me benefits everybody. When you start to look up and down the board, you see the lumps, the bumps. It may not be that important if it's somewhere in here, but at the rail line, it's just extremely important. Generally try to do things in batches, 9s, 10s, 12 boards at a time kind of thing, because I do like to set myself up for a good stretch of like a day and a half in the bay. All your mind is focused on that one thing. It's kind of like surfing in that way. Everything else turns off. You have to stay focused. It's kind of zen, and you're left with just you, foam, and your work. It's amazing. We'll do 650 boards in a year. This is not mass production. I'm like boutique mass production. Lately, I've been saying in my head, I'm like, man, this is amazing. I'm just doing big kid arts and crafts. Those bits at the end is what takes it from good to great. It's the last half an hour. It's the last 15 minutes. And then it's the last 5. Shaping can feel as good as surfing. I spent a lot of years surfing from 16 to about 35. It's all I did. And sometimes it's good to take a break too. This business wouldn't be the same if it wasn't in Tofino. I know that for sure. It's the proximity to the beach, that kind of feedback, that kind of immediate feedback. And that's huge. Oh, look at that little inside scooter. Oh!
I basically just make waves on top of the soaps. Who doesn't love a good wave? Right? There you go.
To live in Tofino is to live close to the land. Angela Lehreux is a descendant of Algonquin First Nations healers. By sourcing her ingredients from the land, she honors the traditions of her ancestors.
I make all of the Tofino Soap Company products from scratch in my kitchen myself. All of my products, whether they're candles or soaps or the salves or anything like that, all start with the wild elements that are found here in Tofino. And I take oils, plant-based waxes, melt those down, and I kind of do a whole mixture. It's basically all the things that matter. My uncle was a medicine man. My aunt is a healer. My whole family pretty much is in healing in some capacity. I'm interested in ethnobotany. I grew up around it. I've continued studying it. That's the part that is Tofino Soap Company. Tofino's a temperate coastal rainforest. Temperate rainforest has more life per square meter than any other ecosystem in the world. Wild foraging can literally be done directly out my back door, front door as well. So we're just surrounded pretty much by wild elements. These are California myrtle. They grow between Ucluelet and Tofino on the coast here, and we use them in our candles. A lot of the botanicals that I do harvest have been employed here by the West Coast people for centuries. With any type of foraging, it has to be done with respect. Respect for the land, respect for wildlife that also needs to be able to feed off of those elements. And that's one of the reasons that we will only forage a certain amount from each plant in each area. Oh, this is the pink flower. It's really all about harnessing more knowledge from the plants that grow here and how that correlates to us and how it affects us as a species and how we interact with the world around us. Do you want me to, I'll grab an end of that? I heard about the Tofino market and I thought maybe we could sell some of the soaps. Before that, I was just trading it for like eggs or for like various different things. A lot of people still, even now, we trade. It just works like that out here. Like right on the end here?
Right here.
Okay. Michael is the co-founder of Tofino Soap Company, and he's the market man. He makes everything a little bit more organized. Community sales rep.
Slash soap slinger.
Soap slinger.
That's it.
You're still setting up? Everyone you come across here has like 2 or 3 jobs. They make something, create something, they carve, painters, other soapers, I mean, you name it. It's not the cheapest place to live, and years ago it was pretty seasonal, so having a diverse selection of ways to create income is kind of imperative for living out here. Our lifestyle, besides Tofino Soap Company, we like to explore the different islands around here. There's so many. I mean, you can wake up and it's just adventure out your doorstep. We had a yellow.
There it is.
We've got a few crab traps. We can drop them in the harbor, go out for a little zip around the islands, come back and check if we've got dinner or not. Hopefully we have dinner. Otherwise it's, you know, pizza.
Oh, yeah. Huge red rock. Oh.
It's pretty cool. Have the forest and the sea and everything just right here. Feeds our soul, our bellies. Also sustains our business. It's just beautiful. It's something to be really grateful for.
As Tofino grows, locals are hoping that happens in a sustainable, mindful, and respectful way.
I couldn't imagine having Caravan anywhere else. This is where I want my business to be, and this is where I want my business to grow.
The place is so nice. It's like refreshing. A lot of just what's around you is what's important, and I just hope it doesn't change.
This place is either part of you or it's not, and it's definitely part of us. It's our home.
It's these values that will both sustain the community's business and the natural beauty that makes everything in this stunning corner of the world so unique.